From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News Weekend Edition.
Good evening and welcome to our Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. Leading our news tonight, the North Pole Fire Department unveiled its new platform truck today. Firefighters put the truck into service in front of the state and local legislators who helped secure funding for the vehicle. The department has been asking for a new platform truck for several years. Its old truck, Platform 21, needed constant maintenance due to its many years of service. The new platform truck will not only run better, but has several times the reach of the department's former ladder truck. The top of the ladder features a special platform for firefighters to use while battling a blaze. Department Chief Buddy Lane says the new addition could help save lives in the North Pole area.
It's an amazing accomplishment for the city of North Pole to get a piece of equipment such as this. It's definitely going to improve firefighter safety as well as a lot of our mission capabilities when it comes to either height or reach.
We'll have more on the new truck platform and what it means for the North Pole on Monday edition of the Fbx Evening News. A Vesper service will be held tomorrow evening at a Sacred Heart Cathedral prior to the ordination of the 6th Bishop of the Fairbanks Diocese. The Reverend Chad Zielinski will be ordained at 3 p.m. ceremony in the Carlson Center. It is the first time an active military chaplain has been chosen to lead a diocese. Reverend Zielinski served as a chaplain for over 12 years and saw 3 tours of duty in war zones. He will remain serving his country as a reservist for 2 years after he is ordained. Bishop-elect Zielinski says he will draw from his military experience while leading the Fairbanks Diocese, the largest such body in the United States.
The military has really trained me and given me different leadership skills, and so I think that opportunity and also diversity of ministry areas, if it's in combat, all of that has contributed to who I am today. So I bring that skill set, those life experiences to serve the people here, which there's a challenging environment here in northern Alaska.
Families from the interior lined up today at Compost Snow Machine and Boat Shop to take pictures with some familiar characters. The popular Disney movie Frozen has become the highest-grossing animated film ever. Its wild success has enchanted young ones everywhere, and here in Fairbanks, Alaska, kids were able to meet Elsa, Sven, Olaf, and the Frozen gang. This event was a collaboration between Compost, the Tired Iron Snow Machine Race, and the Fairbanks Food Bank. Families were asked to bring food for the local food bank or a $10 donation. In return, kids could take pictures with Elsa, Kristoff, and Sven. The reindeer, Sally Beard, and her daughter Paige were all grateful for this opportunity, and Ann Weaver from the food bank couldn't have agreed more.
I just think it's really great that they do something like this, that we can bring food in and they can, take pictures with the kids. And Frozen's such a big movie that, as soon as I mentioned it to her, she was bagging up the canned goods herself. So I think it's good for the kids to give to the back to the community, and they get to see their idols.
I want to see Anna and Olaf and Sven and Elsa.
We really just want to say thank you so much to Compost, to Tired Iron, and to everybody who stepped up and come out for this event. This has been just a really fun time, and we're so excited to be in a community that is so supportive and can do it in such fun ways.
Volunteers of the United Way of the Tanana Valley have organized a fundraiser with McDonald's businesses across the interior. Called Golden Hearts and the Arches, the event will take place at every McDonald's, including the brand new North Pole location. Volunteers from the United Way will be dispersed at different restaurants to work behind the counters and take orders from customers. A portion of the proceeds that evening will benefit the 21 agencies that help the United Way, that the United Way helps each year.
Yep, helping out behind the counter and selling pies and taking donations for the United Way. There's 21 member agencies of the United Way, and it's a broad spectrum of our community, and so lots of people, use the services of those 21 agencies, so it's a little boost for those agencies and helps them out with their budgets.
I'm excited about working with United Way and McDonald's, bringing in contributions to the United Way. And really excited about being able to work with the new McDonald's in North Pole. To me, it says that they're community-minded and they support the community that supports them.
And that event will take place December 16th from 5 to 8 p.m. We'll have more when the weekend's only televised newscast returns. Stay with us. Welcome back. Habitat for Humanity turned over the keys this week to a family that will move into their new home in South Fairbanks. Monty Bowen has more about this program in this report.
Habitat is a program to help working people who are under the income level to qualify for a mortgage.
It's a program that we regard as a hand up, not a hand out.
Whatever it costs Habitat to build the house is rolled into the loan for the person selected to become the owner.
We finance them with a 20 to 30 year 0% mortgage.
Building new houses is not the only thing Habitat does.
We also do projects to repair houses, and we targeted disabled veterans in the last year, and we did 3 home repair projects.
They started on the latest project in May of 2013, built the shell, put in doors and windows, then sealed it and let it sit for the winter. They started again in May of this year with help from the new owner and her family. That's a Habitat requirement.
Owner of a house that becomes the owner of a Habitat house is required to contribute so many sweat equity hours to the project.
The new owner says she learned to mud and sand pretty well while the house was being built.
We really learned a lot, because we did a lot of hands-on work, and my older kids were able to help with that, and they learned a lot too, and so I have confidence that if something needs fixing, I have an idea of how to do it.
This is Monty Bowen reporting.
Today was the 31st annual Gingerbread House Competition, held this year at the Carlson Center. The Fairbanks Daily News Miner hosts this yearly event, which takes place one day out of the year without any pre-registration requirements. This year they've had 75 entries in 5 separate contest divisions: youth, junior, adult, group, and children's group. Instead of having a judges panel, everyone is encouraged to vote for their favorites. The winners are determined later in the day, along with an overall grand champion selected by the Daily News Miner Gingerbread House Committee. Laura Newsom, advertising director for the News Miner, says they look forward to sharing this family event with Fairbanks every year.
We just, the one thing that the News Miner, one of our mission is always to inform and to educate. And sometimes we just like to have fun too. So this is really one of those things where being very family oriented, we have lots of families at the News Miner, and this is just something that we really just enjoy doing. What we want to do is really support activities that families can do together.
And now we continue with our recognition of those 21 agencies that make up the United Way of the Tanana Valley. Here's Mike Schultz to tell you about the American Red Cross of Alaska.
The American Red Cross of Alaska has been operational since 1881 and is part of a worldwide movement that offers care to victims of fires, floods, and other natural disasters. Lori Wilson has been the executive director since early this summer and says in that short time she has begun to realize how important the support from the United Way is in helping her agency daily.
What that does is it allows us to take care of the day-to-day disasters that occur. People think of the Red Cross in terms of large disasters that you see on TV, but it's really the day-to-day that we deal with. The home fires, floods, pipes, this time of year, pipes breaking and flooding, that sort of stuff when they're dealing with having problems within their home.
I asked Lori what kind of impact her agency has on the community.
In every part of your community, we're part of the disaster planning, whether it's the borough, the city, the airport, local fire departments call us when they know when something's going on. To the local hospital will call us if they have a client in need. We have people that will walk through the door. Maybe we aren't able to help them within our service, but we always make sure we connect them with the right services to help them.
During her short time as the executive director, what has been the most fulfilling moment she has experienced?
My first home fire, sitting there with a family who's just basically had the place that they were living destroyed by a fire from a wood stove, which is all too common, and seeing it hitting them in waves, the loss, what they've lost, it's like they'll be talking and then, oh my gosh, we don't have that anymore, and just the fear of what's next and feeling overwhelmed and sitting there and going, it's okay, at least tonight and the next couple nights, you don't have to worry about where you're sleeping.
The United Way campaign continues into the early part of next year. And remember, all donations stay within the community. Mike Schultz reporting.
Coming up in sports with Austin Buchanan, it was Military Appreciation Night inside the Carlson Center as the Nanics faced Alabama Huntsville Chargers. Also high school basketball recap from last night and earlier today with West Valley calling for a dunk. We'll take you to the action. Stay with us.
Welcome, Material Alaska, to our Saturday Sportscast. Austin Buchanan here. Time to take a look at some sports. Last night at the Carlson Center, it was a big night in hockey as our men and women in uniform were in the spotlight. That's right, Military Appreciation Night as the Nanics faced the Huntsville Chargers. Joe Cook has the recap.
It was Military Appreciation Night at the Carlson Center. As the military was well represented, the Army Band was on hand, and the Air Force team hosted the Commander's Cup, which they won earlier today. The military could appreciate the effort the Nanics put on display tonight against the Alabama Huntsville Chargers. It was a goalie duel in this one. The first period went scoreless after Chargers goalie Carmine Guerriero made 11 saves in the opening period. Davis Jones, he made 3 stops to keep things spotless. Fast forward to the third period, and it was a tie game at 1-1. Max McHugh of Alabama and UAF's Alec Hadukovic traded goals in the second period. The netminders matched each other save for save from that point on, especially Guerriero, who made some huge stops as the Nanics just pounded the Chargers zone and kept putts on net, but barely missing on some wonderful chances and shots. Jones made his share of nice saves, thwarting a series of odd man rushes, and this game will go into overtime. UAF, though, they were not deterred. At the 1:23 mark of the extra period, the Nanics finally found success. Krieger passes it to Nolan Heisman, who crashes it towards the net, and it's money time. Taylor Munson is right there for the putback and the score, ending the stalemate. Alaska wins 2-1 in overtime on Munson's 4th tally of the season. Guerriero made 44 saves for the Chargers, but Jones countered with 16 timely saves, and UAF gets its 9th win of the season. They celebrate with the Army and Air Force Commanders Cup teams, pictures afterwards. UAF can go for win number 10 in their first WCHA sweep on Saturday night.
Well, I think it was off a face-off, and I got behind their forwards and their D, and I was kind of wide open in front of the net, and I was kind of just calling for it and hoping they could get it to me, and they did, and I was able to put it home. Yeah, like you said, their goalie had a great game tonight. We got 45 shots on him and only scored 2 goals, but you know, our game plan was to just keep getting bodies and pucks to the net, and hopefully one of them would go in. A lot of confidence. We came off a good weekend last weekend against Mankato, and we played hard tonight, and we just got to keep that going into tomorrow.
Wow, what a game. So let's switch gears from the ice to the hardwood. That's right. High school basketball in town this weekend. Once again, Joe Cook.
Now some high school hoops. First quarter action between the Rams and Mustangs in their high school basketball season openers. And check out this sequence. Monroe's Jalen McCullough steals the ball, but turns it over. Then he steals it again and gets the and one. He missed the free throw, but the Rams led 8-2 at that point. The Rams will go on from there. Using one of their patented runs, JT Minder nailed a 3 from the wing. McCullough would nail a 3, and Edwin Erickson also drained a 3-pointer. The Rams led 17-3 at the end of the first, and they will go on to win 62-21 over Chugiak. The Rams will host Alson on Saturday night for a doubleheader.
All right, thanks, Joe. Well, also on the court, the West Valley Wolfpack hosting the Chugiak Mustangs for the first game of the 2014-2015 basketball season. Both teams looking for what I like to call an early booster win. Let's go to the tip-off. Things started off with a technical foul before things even got started, sending the Wolfpack to the free throw line, but they can't get the freebie. The Wolfpack start off with the basketball in the first half against the Mustangs. The opening quarter was not the type of game plan either team was looking for. Each team went head-to-head on the court with all defense early on. But West Valley's Daniel Hornbuckle, along with teammate Sean Kinsey, put in some early goals, scoring 5 points each in the opening period. Hornbuckle finds the big two-handed dunk to get the home crowd on their feet. The first half will come to a wrap as West Valley finds their game plan, scoring a total of 23 points in just the second quarter, bringing the halftime score to 37-10, with Daniel Hornbuckle leading the half 11 points. Sean Kinsey contributes with 8 points, and Tyler Krishman with 6 points. The final quarter comes to a close at 64-25 as the Wolfpack go on to claim the first game of the season victory. So high school basketball tips off their season, but let's not forget about high school hockey. Last night, the Hutchinson Hawks put on a show against Houston at the Big Lake Classic. This contest was a rematch of the 2014 Great Land Hockey Championship game. Rustad made his presence known, scoring late in the first period. Newman gave the Hawks a 1-0 lead after an unassisted goal at the 12:55 mark early in the first. Houston answers back shortly after Yuri Nakin with the tying goal at the 8:48 mark of the first, and then the Hawks went on a scoring rally in the final period of play, coming off Simmons' power play late in the second, giving the Hawks a 3-1 lead. Hawks continued the rally in the third period as Holden, Bowman, and Baxter each find the back of the cage to give the Hawks a 6-1 victory. Netminder Zach Hansen finished with 12 saves for the Hawks. That will wrap it up for our Sportscast tonight. Katie Looper has your full weather forecast coming up next. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. So today is December 13th, 2014, a very special day.
It's in order, 12, 13, 14.
12, 13, 14. Last time in a while, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a while. I think the last time it happened was in 11?
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. Yeah, 11, 11, 11.
Well, there's 11,
yeah, right.
12, 13.
Right. So, yeah, it's going to be a while before that will actually happen.
All right, well, let's take a look at our weather. It's 0 today at the airport right now, but our normal high was 5 degrees and our normal low was -12. Our record high got all the way up to 42 in 1967, but as low as -58 in 1910. That's quite rare. All right, our sun rose at 10:50 this morning and set at 2:43 this afternoon, giving us only 3 hours and 53 minutes of daylight and 6 minutes from yesterday. But again, that will all change here soon. So let's check out what's happening around the state today. It's cloudy in Juneau at 40 degrees, Ketchikan partly sunny skies at 45. Anchorage and Cold Bay are cloudy as well, and Kodiak is experiencing rain showers around 37. Bethel and Denali Nome area look like partly sunny to sunny skies, around 17 for them, 5 in Nome. Barrow a little chillier at -11 with cloudy skies, and Fairbanks and Fort Yukon at 1 degrees. All right, now let's slide on down to our lower 48. 50 degrees in Seattle with partly sunny skies. Las Vegas, Phoenix region, finally getting a little bit cooler, hanging around 60. Minneapolis and Dallas are both experiencing rainstorms and lightning storms, and Dallas at 71. New Orleans 69 with partly sunny skies. Gorgeous temperatures at 76 in Miami, and then up there in our northeast, New York is 44 and DC 49. Now, as we can see this weekend, we can expect cooler temperatures over there in our west and our northwest, and rain in the Midwest. As from the southeast, pleasant temperatures and mild temperatures a little bit north, and up there in our northeast, flurries are expected. So let's bring it back home to Alaska. Mostly cloudy skies for Barrow, Fort Yukon, and Nome. -6 in Barrow, 5 in Fort Yukon, and 12 degrees in Nome. Now, as for the interior, cloudy skies for Fairbanks and Delta. Flurries are expected in Healy. 16 degrees in Fairbanks, 19 in Delta, 33 in Healy. Now moving down to our southeast, increasing cloudy skies for both Juneau and Ketchikan. Temperatures there around 40 degrees. Moving west, let's see, rain in Cold Bay, snow in Bethel, and a mix of both for Kodiak. So 15 degrees in Bethel and around 40 degrees for Cold Bay and Kodiak. Lastly, for our south central region, snow in Homer and Valdez, and rain and snow in Anchorage. Temperature around 35 in Anchorage, 37 in Valdez, and 42 in Homer. Now for tonight's forecast, 0 degrees, but mostly cloudy throughout the night with a possible drop in temperature. And as for tomorrow, 16 degrees, mostly cloudy with mild temperatures. And lastly, for our extended outlook, 20 degrees on Monday, 10 throughout the week. And then -5 is going to be pretty consistent for our nightly temperatures, except for Wednesday when it drops to be a little cooler. And we can expect mostly sunny skies Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and a little bit of rain storms on Wednesday and Friday.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. So, Christmas is coming.
I know, getting festive. I love it.
I like it.
Best time of year.
I tried it on, but it just wouldn't fit my head. So, pass it off to Katie.
That's all right. All right, well, that's going to wrap up our Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
And you can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
And from all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.